Hi there, and welcome to this first non-stream stretch goal update concerning the Traveler Type S Scout ship, I guess. Ben is not here at the moment. He is at vacation for a few weeks. You might have picked that up if you've watched earlier streams. Instead, I'm here, and who the hell am I, you might ask? I'm Albin. I'm a 3D generalist and animator, and I've been helping Ben for a few months producing the scout ship. So I'm going to go through a little bit about what I've been up to this week. I'm going to work on the stretch goals while he's not here, and there are a few different stretch goals. Thankfully, we hit like just over $75,000, and that resulted in a few different interesting pieces that you're going to get your hands on later when we are finished with this modeling that I'm going to show a little bit about later today. So my main objectives these weeks are going to be the different alternatives to the engines. I have a few ideas about that, and I worked on it a bit this week. We're going to get into that later, and I'm going to have a look at the turret variants, more specifically the ammunition dispenser, or whatever you want to call it. There are going to be a few assorted cargo variations and partitions. Ben is going to have a look at the airlocks when he gets back. So the start of the week was a bit more of an orientational thing. I was looking through the different files and checking out what we already had in terms of geometry and what we were going to develop. Everything is not visualized yet, so I also been looking at a lot of references and inspiration this week. So that takes a bit of time before you can start just making STL files to print, basically. But I've been printing a little bit, and we will get to that later. The first day, basically, I just looked through everything, got familiar with everything, started to think a little bit about how to solve things. I was looking at different landing gears, particularly with wheels. I'm not started to look at the sleigh ones yet. The way I'm thinking is that we are going to make non-articulated landing gears. There might be some articulation. We might split the meshes so it's easier to print, for example. But the main objective is getting cool looking landing gears that, well, I mean, the wheels might perhaps be articulated, so you could run around with the ship on your tabletop session, I guess. It's not really decided yet though, but that's something I want to try to do at least. The thing I spent most time on is the engines. I haven't really done too many variations. I'm having a few ideas. I've been sketch it down and get some kind of idea of how that could interpret into 3D engines, basically. But the main thing I've been looking at this week is basically how we could make it modular. So the way I'm thinking is the detail of the engine is something that you could perhaps make separate from the connection points to the hull. So I've been looking at the original engine that comes with the Type S, and I've been dicing it up and mixing it with a prototype engine. Oh, it's kind of a set design basically, but a early design that is not printable, basically. That's the one you can see here, could see here in the background with the hexagonal plates and basically and stuff like that. Looks nice. I really like that grid pattern. You want to make detail as iterative as possible, I think. And these things, at least, I mean, it does well when you repeat a pattern that is intricate around an engine or a afterburner, basically. So the way I'm thinking is that I'm going to use an inner core that is going to be connected to the ship, that you can just slot in a detailed afterburner and put the detailed afterburner on top of the connector part to the ship. So here I'm trying to figure out a good resolution, and the base core that is going to interface with the afterburner is what do you call it? A cylinder that has a resolution of 64 faces. You want to try and match this up. Later on, since we use 12 plates around the afterburner from the original concept, I'm going to make the outer part at a resolution of 48. And no, yeah, 48. As it's better divided with 12. And have the inner interfacing surface be 64 instead. The reason for this is that I want to have a good connection between the plates and the outer shell of the afterburner core. I need to figure out better words for these things, but anyway. So these 12 plates should just be instances around the outer part of the afterburner core, basically. And here you see me make a instance of the complete afterburner engine, or whatever you want to call it. Technically, I should be calling it a maneuver drive, I guess, but yeah. I have trouble speaking English ordinary, so you have to bear with me. The thing is that I'm doing here is I'm setting up a camera so I can always see how the afterburner part of the maneuver drive looks when it's interfacing the hull, and then I use this instanced geometry in position to gauge whether or not I'm doing something weird with the actual geometry, so I don't actually cut into the hull of the ship, basically. So here I'm matching up the outer part of the I can't remember what I'm calling it anymore. The afterburner that is going to be exchangeable, or whatever you want to call it. And as you can see here, when I make this outer plate, I want it to actually line up perfectly with vertices on the face of the afterburner exchangeable cone, because then I can just slap them on top of this core and use instances and do different designs, so I can just instance them around the core and it should match up perfectly, and I don't need to merge vertices and stuff like that. So I can just change the outer plate and combine it and send it to Prusa, basically. That's the way I'm thinking, at least. So we might get different plates, and we might get a different design of the complete afterburner as well. I'm not really decided yet with how it's going to look. So now you can see me doing a prototype. So this is my precious afterburner connector part, And here is the earlier prototype to check if the ring connector thing actually works. And it seemed to work earlier. It's really robust, I think. And here you can see my caffeinated fingers twitching around. But it seems to me that it is actually going to work pretty nicely when it's all said and done. Yeah, so that was a ride, I guess. As you can tell, it is a bit difficult for me to speak in English, and I usually take my time to think about what to say even when I speak Swedish. So, and I am not really used to speaking in front of a camera as well. So there are a lot of different parts that are going to have to merge together and work better in the future. But it is almost coherent, I guess. And I think I got the main points across. The thing that we're going to do next up with the engines, I want to make a similar solution for the grids that are going to be in the opening of the afterburner. So I'm not really decided yet how to make it. I have an idea that you could slot or glue colored plastics to it, perhaps, so you could get like almost a gel filter when you have like lighting and stuff for a set. You can use like gel filters that's like plastic that colors the light. Well, that's in the future. We're not going to go there just yet. I'm a bit tired as well because, I mean, it's Friday afternoon and I've been speaking English all day and I've been talking all day, which is not my forte. But I hope that you found it interesting or useful in some way. And for those who are on the Discord, just ask questions, I guess. I'm called Carbonhead in the Discord. That's my handle or my tag or whatever you call it. And if you found this on YouTube, you could just leave a comment if you like, I guess. You should go check out my manufactory and see if there is something you want to buy into if you haven't yet. We would very much appreciate it because we put our love and effort into this project. Otherwise, that's basically it, I think. So look forward to next Friday and next mess, and take care. How do I cut this off? Ah!